The following is a presentation of KSL Sports. First and 12. A total roundup of BYU and Utah football and the expanded Big 12 Conference. Subscribe to the First and 12 podcast. Your hosts are Mitch Harper and Alex Kirry on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. It is First and 12 right here on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM. Mitch Harper, Alex Kirry, our producer is Gustavo Rodriguez, as usual, bringing you First and 12 every week. You can also download the podcast wherever podcasts are found. Go check it out. Go check it out for yourself. Boy, a massive week, of course, in the Big 12. They just keep getting bigger and bigger. And part of it is just watching across the rest of the conference, or the rest of the power conferences there, and everybody's peeking in on each other and going, who's going to blow it? And the Big 12 is just praying for a possibility to sneak in a second person. There's not a soul, Mitch, and before we get into our sound roundup, I was thinking about this. I was like, man, there's not a national pundit out there who has a predictor of the college football playoff that has more than just Texas Tech being in the college football playoff, despite the fact that you have multiple ACC teams, multiple, obviously, SEC and Big Ten teams. I just don't know where I guess everybody else is sitting back and wondering, because every week somebody in the top 25 is outed out of the top 25 from the Big 12, and somebody else enters the chat. And that was Utah this week. That was Arizona State this week. And that was Iowa State this week, right? And that was Cincinnati this week. So the flip-flopping is absolutely wild. But this conference is absolutely good. It's just they're beating each other. We knew this was going to happen. Let's jump in here and check in with some of the sound from across the conference here. It's our Big 12 Sound Roundup.
Big 12 Sound Roundup.
Check 1, 2.
The best bites, cheap shots, and excuses from Saturday's postgame news conferences.
So, Alex, out in West Texas, anything goes. And in Lubbock, well, not anything goes now, because the Big 12, earlier this summer, they banned Texas Tech fans from being able to throw their signature item, tortillas, after touchdowns. They can't do it anymore. They can do it in pregame, but they can't do it during the game. And if they do, it's going to result in a penalty. And that happened twice in the game between Texas Tech and Kansas on Saturday. And it led to Kansas coach Lance Leipold and Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire having a heated post-game exchange down the field. Texas Tech coach Joey McGuire was asked about that exchange in the post-game and ultimately spoke to the fans about this tortilla gate.
It's frustrating. I'm frustrated. I know he was frustrated. We've got a new rule in this league, and we know the rule, and we didn't follow it, and we got penalized tonight, to 15-yard penalties, and he was frustrated on that side. And we got to be better. We've got to do a better job. We got to find a way to do a better job as a whole, all of us, and we will. I mean, we've got 2 weeks to have a better plan and get the point across of what the rule is, because it's gonna catch up with us. I mean, the first one nearly did because the game was a little bit tighter than what you wanted, but it's gonna catch up with us, and it's frustrating because it's kind of like whenever I talk to the guys, make it about the football, so if you get any kind of extracurricular penalties, like we had a 15-yarder late in the game, hey, you made it about you, and so if you're throwing tortillas more than once, now it becomes all about you. Like, what, like, really, are you? Is that a Red Raider? Or is that like, if you came to the game and you love this team and you're passionate about this team, but yet you're going to throw another tortilla and it's against the rules? Like, so we've got to do a better job, and I've got to do a better job at expressing to the fans how important they are, because the atmosphere tonight was absolutely incredible, electric.
Alex, is that not peak college football where a head coach say, is that a Red Raider? Are you a true fan if you're throwing tortillas? I love the tortilla tradition. I hate that the Big 12 ADs voted to ban this thing and make it a penalty.
Who's the one who said no?
Kirby Hocutt, the Texas Tech AD.
It had to be. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, he's got to show up back to his student section and go, I fought for y'all. All right? I had told him I wanted.
Should we ask Mark Harlan and Santiago, like, hey, where'd you stand on this? Why'd you vote for the anti-tortilla?
Look, you can't throw the tortillas. And that's the thing, is that, like, BYU's been they've been a tortilla throwing crowd before.
Yeah, that's right.
It was during my time, like when I was a student down there, people were throwing tortillas, and we didn't know why. We were like, "What are we doing?" And I'm also looking around and going, "Hey, man, those are Gosh, we could take that home, make a quesadilla, man. That's where my head is
Kansas
at.
coach Lance Leipold, he had no interest in making any quesadillas.
Come on.
He was asked about how the tortillas situation was handled with the refs and the Big 12, and then he had a pretty revealing comment as well. This was Lance Leipold.
Very poorly. Our conference office and Scott Draper and them were very poor at handling it. They said was one of the officials almost got hit and tried to throw a flag and it got picked up, so that was disappointing. We had a policy put in that wasn't followed through, so I was very disappointed on how that was. It's obviously they have a great crowd. They really get into it and do some things, but I know the officials were just as frustrated after the one penalty was picked up. That is where it sits. Say what it is. A pocket knife was thrown out and hit one of our staff members. So, it's ridiculous. It's supposed to be for safety and things like that, and it's a culture that's been accepted to a point, and it hasn't changed, and eventually somebody's going to be seriously hurt, unfortunately.
When did that happen during the game?
In the third quarter.
Listen, go back on that video. Find it.
Texas Tech's looking into it. The knife got handed over to Texas Tech PD.
Listen.
What do you make of that?
Someone's going to get hit with a tortilla in the eye. I don't know. There's
the
a
knife
lot.
Stuff is.
I get that.
I'd be heated about
if
that.
That happens at any game. That happens at any game.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, the culture of it. It's like no culture in any stadium anywhere is like, throw whatever you want. The tortilla thing is, who freaking cares?
Yeah.
Like, we let Mississippi State down in Starkville give everyone a certain level of tinnitus at the end of every game. They get deaf. Like, throwing tortillas, whatever. I got hit by a tortilla. Come on. But the whole that's the sound of a loser right there, where you're like, we really hope that the conference would have addressed it. I'm like, how about you address your defense? You know what I mean? Like, anyway, whatever. The amount of time spent on Tortilla Gate, this is probably the second most that was talked about. This whatever podcast is going on in Kansas right now, they're taking a dead freaking serious. Tortilla Gate 2020. We would have won that game if the tortilla wouldn't hit me in the eye.
For Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, it's field storming gate. He was so hyped to see the students storm the field after their big top 25 win over Iowa State. And Coach Prime, though, was surprised that doing an act like that comes with a penalty.
But I love to see it. I really do.
Any worry about the fine?
Is it a fine for rushing the field?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
50.
50 what?
50 what?
For rushing the field? How's it 50,000 for rushing the field? Who made that a rule?
Your conference.
Big 12 conference.
Huh?
Come on, man. That ain't right. These kids. Well, we have 50,000 right there. Chip in. Let's chip in. That's how it was when I grew up. We going somewhere back before you get in the car with some gas. You got to chip in.
Maybe the best soundbite of the week. By the way, don't tell them about the fine in the SEC, right? That goes, what, $250?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then $500, I think. It goes
Gosh.
$250 once, and then it's like $500 in perpetuity, basically. They don't want to mess around with it at all. Look, you have the situations like where, who was it? Was it the Virginia fans who immediately stomped over the Florida State guys?
Yeah,
who
that
were
was scary.
Down on the ground in the end zone? That was wild. That's what you don't want. So, anyway, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things that. But I loved his reaction to it. It was funny. He should just ask Shiloh to spot him some cash, man.
And I'm glad that Coach Prime was supportive of field storming because, Coach Prime he wants to be a coach for the students and the fans, and I think that was a cool moment.
He would have been
Folsom Field.
He would have been tortilla guy too. If he was at Texas Tech, he would say,
Absolutely.
"Man, let him throw the tortillas, man." Absolutely.
Love those tortillas for life. Let's take a break. Alex Kirry, Mitch Harper here on 1st and 12. Let's maybe get to a little bit of a midseason report. Our thoughts on who the best quarterback, the best coach in the Big 12 is. It's 1st and 12 here on KSL News Radio.